Welcome to the HS podcast. Oh my god, my hair is fucking greasy because I didn't shower the entire day. What? Anyways, so why did with fucking 60 50 subs why the fuck did you change this to a gaming channel to a podcast channel? Well, that's pretty easy to answer question. Mainly because gaming, I started out, I was like, oh, got a MacBook. Let's try editing something. Just do for fun. And because I originally wanted to do like little tiny short films, like on my Fun Films channel, but it didn't turn out the way I wanted to because number one, I did not meet Mario or Dre yet. I was still in middle school, and I was, like I said in the previous podcast, I was a big introvert in freshman year, so I never really got out to new people, so I was just kind of in my own bubble at that time, and and did not make any of the filmmaking friends I have now. So, what did I resort to? I got the camera that is recording me right now to fucking look at my terrible TV and my gaming sessions. And a lot of it was just a bunch of fucking rip off and almost every formulaic uh, funny moments video game video on YouTube out there. And it was fun at first and stuff because every day you're trying to get like, oh, we're trying to get a good moment here or get a funny glitch there, but then when you record it just gets a little tiring after a while, and even though I wanted to make like little fun short films, it's kind of exhausting because I mean I didn't have a capture card, so I had to set up the damn camera in front of my TV and play and hope something goes good with the session. And and while I won't lie that it was fun to do, it just after a while it got kind of formulaic and there wasn't really anything that I felt I was building upon. Like, when you're say like an artist, if you keep painting the same painting over and over, sure you might perfect it, but you want to try something new. Which brings me to my point on why I turned this gaming channel into a podcast channel. And while I was like very low in subs and whatever, and view count will probably get nowhere, I'm doing this because I wanted to, just get myself going again because 2020, hey, new year, new me, and whatever and shit. But it's 2020, and then kind of self evaluated myself, and you gotta do what you want to do, and I'm like, you know what, I don't even. I might not even take all my classes that seriously because they're not too difficult. So hey, let's try out this podcast form. And for the topic of the solo podcast, I just mainly wanted to talk about my inspiration for why I wanted to start a podcast. And first, just to get it out of the way, I was inspired by David So, the David So. Yes, uh, the Korean dude from JK News. But no, he's more than that than just the Korean or the funny guy on JK News or Dave So Comedy or Genius Brain. Cause okay, I think just to simplify it, I was and still am a fat kid, but growing up as a fat kid in elementary, you're kind of berated on your weight and stuff, and the like David So says, if you're the fat guy, you're automatically gonna get made fun of and stuff and whatever. So, yep, I grew up in elementary, always being the fat kid, and yeah, tag was a terrible fucking game to play. You try to run, you tag someone, and they always tag you back. You tag them, and then you try to run, but you're too fucking slow because of your weight, and so they catch up to you. And so I dislike that. a lot because I was like, oh, I'm fucking fat. I'm too slow. I'm never gonna be skinny or fit like them, so I won't have the energy for it. And so I was very insecure about my weight as a kid, and I did not own it at all. I was I was so sad about my own weight as a kid to the point where I was like I would literally want to like chop off my fucking belly. It was that bad. And I didn't really have anyone to confide it to. And after a while, I just kind of sucked it up and like, you know what, I'm fat, whatever. Not gonna be able to change that at all. But and then come 2011 to 2012, I'm sitting in a I'm sitting in my uncle's room watching YouTube videos with my cousin Peter, Shy Peter. Big thanks to you. I'm watching videos with my cousin Shy Peter, and next thing you know, he types up David So. Um, I don't know exactly what he typed, but he basically searched up the Super Saiyan kid believes he's Super Saiyan video, and I watched it, and I will never fucking forget it. I laughed so hard at the video that it was very refreshing, and to see a fat Asian man making me laugh was something I didn't expect because usually comedians, I'm like, oh, comedians come in all shapes and sizes, but mainly it was for me, comedians were not even a thing. It was just whoever could make me laugh or whatever thing could make me laugh, then I would consider them funny. But seeing a fat Asian American on YouTube was something a little different because around that time I just watched a lot of parody videos and some skit videos, and they were all like average weight and whatever and stuff, and when Dave So started making fun of his own self about his own fatness, that's when I figured and thought to myself, hey, I can turn this fatness around and like not be so sad about it, but fucking own it. Just own it. Like, oh, you think I'm fat? Well, you're ugly or some shit like that. Whatever. Like they can call me fat, but I can call them something 10 times worse. And like, it got me in the mentality of owning owning things I didn't like about myself. And I think it was if had not discovered David So, I would still be the insecure fat kid that I was. Well, I mean, I still try to watch my weight and stuff here and there, but I mean, I have a much more positive what's the word? Much more positive outlook on my own weight. And if someone's gonna call me fat, yeah, it might bother me a bit, but you know, you can always fire back and just play the joke back in yourself, like I'm fat, I'll survive the winter or some shit like that. So it's like it gave me a good defense mechanism to throw back at my insecurity, and I really thank David So for that. And so yeah, I watched a lot of Dave So from then on, and I was, yeah, his comedy helped me through a lot too, because not only did he mention and kind of turn around my insecurity of how I was overweight, but then he also gets into relationships and stuff, and stupid people, and ghetto-ness of stuff and whatever, and it's just really, really humble and makes me feel good. And then when he comes out with a podcast, and he posts a video about how he feels lost about himself and where he's going, and how he feels like he doesn't have a purpose if he doesn't know where he's going. And then, yeah, I'm pretty sure me and probably a few of his audience felt that the same way about it. And to see him lose weight and then eventually start a podcast and start talking with people, and calling it almost like an extension of his old vlogs, I was like, you know what? It's nice. It's good. It's hour-long content, which is very fun and entertaining, and not only does he share his life experience and stories, but it helps it helps the viewers learn and evaluate themselves. And like David so says on his Genius Brain podcast, I think he listened to Joe Rogan or whatever, and there were things that he took away from it and kind of self-evaluated himself. And then I thought, you know what, I could apply that to my own life. I mean, I stopped doing gaming vids a lot and like just sort of threw whatever would stick on the wall. And you know what, let's give podcasting a shot. Sure, it might be like copying or whatever, but I mean, I think the platform of a podcast, even though there's almost a lot of people doing it, Ryan Higa, Bobby Lee, there's Joe Rogan, of course, and then a bunch of all those other podcast shows. But I think the main thing I think I could do with like a podcast platform is that it allows me to be myself and express things and just tell stories rather than having to like animate something in order to tell a story or edit a video of me telling something. So I think the a lot of people are kind of oversaturated or sick of seeing edited vids, that sometimes seeing just a full on unedited vid and it's an hour long, and then you can just listen to it on your commute or just out of plain boredom. It really helps you just kind of, eavesdrop on people's lives and stuff. Ugh, gotta take a water break. And as I was saying, the podcast format basically just helps you listen, eavesdrop on people, and just listen on people's conversations, and then learn about what they've done and stuff. And then you kind of self evaluate and put that back on yourself. And for me, mainly, the concept of podcasting and why I wanted to start doing it is because, a lot of people want to tell their own stories. I mean, I I specifically went to college for creative writing because I wanted to tell stories, in either format that I can. And so I think using this YouTube platform and then making it into like a podcast or whatever, I can basically bring in my friends, families, people I know, and just have them talk. And then mainly for me is almost kind of like recording memories in a way, because I mean when you go, I mean you're just gonna go. People will remember you and your memories and stuff. But I kind of want to just you know upload things with the people around me, and then put it on this online platform, hoping it doesn't go away, and that if in a few years or whatever, if YouTube does not archive their entire website or whatever, and they're still standing strong, hopefully, that I do can maybe have just some sort of quote unquote legacy left behind. No, maybe there's probably like no money in it or whatever, but I mean, just the videos, like I can probably have like, oh, my baby brother look back at it and be like, oh, big brother was kind of a goofball, but a humble goofball and whatever. That's the kind of mark I want to leave behind. Like, even if it doesn't fulfill me, even if it doesn't fulfill my pocket or whatever, it kind of fulfills me deeply. And it's just a choice that we make. You gotta go with the flow in life, because we only have one life, and you gotta do what you love. And sometimes your wallet's gotta hurt for it. You want to go to this expensive con? Well, you gotta cough up probably $200 to go for 3 days. You want to you want to enjoy this certain game? You gotta cough up $60. That's just how it goes. And you want to start a podcast, even though you won't gain revenue from it at all yet. You just gotta do it, because like I like to think about it is that if you don't take the step to do, or if you don't even bother to take the step of trying something out, then you haven't really lived. I mean, that's kind of a, what's the word, bitter or cynical way to put it, but I mean, if you don't take the step, then you're never gonna get anywhere. It's just like approaching anything, to be honest. If you don't if you don't execute it, it won't happen. Ugh. Gotta get myself adjusted here. So, yeah, Genius Brain podcast inspired me to start my own, and then basically just talk shit with my with the people around me and share my own stories. And if I gain traction from it, then sure, I'll roll along with it. If I don't, then oh well, we can just continue until I want to feel artistically different and try something new. Because the facial hair made me look old, but I'm only fucking 21, just trying to fulfill my own artistic pleasures. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna call that the shortcast or whatever, or short or whatever. Oh yeah, addressing the name, channel name. It used to be called HSG or Mong Saiyan Gamer, but then I thought I'd throw out the gamer aspect and just HS Podcast. So Mong Saiyan Podcast, which is what the HS stands for. So yep, that was the short cast, and if you want to check out the Fun Films channel where I do short films, it'll be on the link below or some thingamajig here with a YouTube feature. And yeah, I'm gonna end it there. Peace.